Welcome back to HCS Fort Worth, presented by LVT. My name is Active, and we've got a major matchup here coming up next. I'm alongside of Tools. Tools, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling great, and the open bracket has been phenomenal, and our team has had the longest road possible, the hardest journey. I mean, have you taken a look at this bracket? First, it was Native White that was in their way. Now it's G1, and hell, I was seeing Kratos and the Luminosity team playing on the other side, so potentially they're going to play what a crazy bracket to start your tournament with.
Honestly, the open bracket has been the most competitive we've ever seen it in Halo history, and it's just getting more and more competitive as players get better at the game and they're able to adapt and continue to grow. It's just going to get even better than that.
Dude, honestly, it's been phenomenal. I've been trying to coordinate as much as I can on the open floor. It's probably the most I've been able to spend just watching the open bracket, and dude, let me tell you what, the talent is phenomenal. We're seeing a lot of yelling, a lot of game fives, a lot of crazy stuff. I saw Forsaken, it was a Fluriously team. Dude, they were getting up, they were getting loud, they were screaming on the other side after a Game 5 victory. So lots of fun action over in the open bracket today.
Yeah, I always say there's no energy like being in this venue. I mean, this Halo community, as we are maybe a little bit small, we are the most passionate in esports, in my opinion. I have never seen the energy I've seen in that open bracket, even on that main stage. Tons of energy, tons of players just wanting to improve and place higher than their last placing. It's about that personal best. It's about the passion of the game.
Yeah, dude, honestly, and shout out to everyone that's here. Shout out to the HCS team allowing us to get into this as observer mode, allowing us to watch these games. This is the first time we were able to do the qualifying matches, but this is the first time where you're really seeing the open bracket journey start to finish on LVT Halo, and well, hopefully we'll be able to see it in future tournaments as well, because it's been an absolute blast. Hey, you know, if you've been enjoying it, if you've been liking it, you know what you gotta do. You know what you do?
What do they do?
Guys, I think it's September, baby. Those subs, oh, they're a little bit discounted right now, so you give some subs to the channel if you want. Primes, they're absolutely free, whatever it is, because, you know, it's a big team that comes and makes this happen. There's a lot of us here. Costs a lot of money to get everyone out here, and you know, just making sure that we're doing what we're able to do, got this equipment loaded on up. Every little bit that comes back to the channel, it's reinvested back into paying casters, making sure equipment's ready to go, getting flights, all of that pretty stuff. And getting this team here today was all thanks to the help of the people over at LVT, but Gamers First standing in their way.
Here we go. Game number one, LVT versus Gamers First. Strongholds on recharge, and right off the bat, we're going to be hopping on board with KingJay. Has had a really solid performance in that last series, but I mean, he's only going to get better. He's only going to warm up more, and what he's capable of, I mean, we have yet to see it.
The problem is you got to worry about players on the side of G1 when they're able to get that shock rifle in their hand. We saw precision with it in the beginning, not quite able to land those shots. What you got to remember is the Xbox Series X is a little bit different from their PCs at home. You're going to have a little bit more input delay. You can't be as precise as you'd like with those rifles. The players that can adapt to the Xbox situation first will have a huge advantage in this game.
I mean, that's a great point. I mean, we're definitely playing on different peripherals. It definitely changes a lot of things, but when you come to tournament day, you've got to adapt. Like you said, professionals are able to adapt to every situation possible, and as you can see right off the bat, we've got 3 dead for LVT and a little bit of a lead building up for them, but it's going to get cut short. 2 caps on the board now for G1.
Yeah, really scrappy on both sides thus far. No one really getting that secure setup that you'd like to see. Players going in left and right, trying to basically collaborate as hard as possible to stop these pushes together. The problem is it's been like a firing bullet into a stone wall, right? It's opposition meets opposition time and time again, and well, we haven't really seen anyone have that established hold yet.
Well, 3 down for G1 might change that fact as they potentially get A and it looks like B here. Be a little bit more of a difficult stronghold to hold. So it looks like G1 will hold on just for now. They're the stick that comes out for that trade. And again, G1 will continue to pile on this lead that they've acquired so far.
Look at this rotation from G1. They're trying to get to C in time. And it looks like they will be able to stop that hill, but they weren't able to stop KingJay from getting this camouflage, but instantly tracked down. A devastating loss for LVT.
Yeah, you always pick up camo and want to get that value out of it, but You know, G1 were able to completely diminish the value of that camo, but there the while, G1 go 4 dead, and this is the opportunity now for LVT to take some control.
Boamx trying his best to get in from this bat ledge, but the win from LVT! Holy Batman, he just somehow stayed alive, and now it's a trip cap that's in effect.
Yeah, and those trip caps can be scary. Looks like G1 are taking that C plot. They will take it safely as the spawns also come out onto that the long haul there, but it looks like the patience out of Sab may pay off. Staying alive here as much as he can. He doesn't have help, so he's gonna back off.
Love this from Zab, right? He's constantly applying pressure. He's basically telling G1, I want to get this trip cap back. I want to get into C. You're gonna have to deal with me. They're gonna be able to get that back as home, and Zab just keeps staying alive. Now, unfortunately, his team on the other side start falling, but you see this counterweight rotation to B. If they can win this next gunfight, they can secure a stronghold on this map.
See, but that's the thing I like about Recharge, is the crossfire that you're able to provide from that top catwalk side and also the top glass. LVT established a 2-point hold now, and it's going to be Diagram on your screen. The young player in Diagram utilizing that pistol in close range. It's not going to be enough, though, to go down for LVT, and now G1 are on the counter push themselves.
He's trying his hardest right there. A little left, a little right, but it's 3 down that go. LVT, Piggy the last alive, trying to get some value out of his life, but it'll be voided as the trade comes through. G1 finally has some room just to breathe and accumulate more of this lead.
LVT were able to get that last camo. It's coming up once again right now. You see it at the bottom center of your screen. This is where that point of contention will be for both of these squads, and it's going to take a couple slays to make that camo a little bit more comfortable to pick up, but you can see constant trades back and forth, whereas, you know, LV2 do get that spawn onto C plat, so that camo potentially is going to be theirs.
Sav had the idea that the player was over at Catwalk. I liked how he pushes through the door. It's not necessarily about getting the hill. What you need to make sure is that that perimeter player that's ready to combat you at that hill is pushed out first. Sav doing a great job of making sure that there's no one that can contest them when they're grabbing those hills.
A great flank here on a bat ledge. A lot of damage being put in by Diagram. He's not able to clean up anyone, but he's gonna put pressure on this B hill. He does pick it up, and that will be reset as well. But G1 still have control here. They've got A and a C, and they're getting the slays as well.
That's where it's dangerous. Piggy cannot peek. He needs to get this home base for his team. C will be captured, and you can see, he had the idea of blowing up those nades, but comes out to get him, and he instantly is taken down to 1 shot.
Comes out, gets his shields though, which is the most important part, plays his life, and now he can pressure back. It looks like he wants to rotate back towards C there to establish control of that, but Diagram ends up going down onto A, which means this is a little bit of an open play field here for Sab to kind of come on in and recover this hill as fast as possible. Looks like he's got to get this kill, though he does. A beautiful reversal right there, but G1 are on a triple cap situation.
Yeah, G1's just constantly finding the rotations in time, and what LVT, they'll be the first one to initialize the attack, but then G1 is just quick to respond, constantly keeping numbers away from LVT, but putting pressure on hills, keeping 2 captures. LVT needs to just find a clean 4 break so that they can stop this rotation of G1.
Great reset there by Sab. He's not able to clean up the kill. Those 1 shot at the bottom of Elevator, that could cost him, because now, once again, G1 pushing aggressively for that triple cap, and it looks like this one will go in. If they get a couple more kills, LVT are in trouble.
Yeah, this is the trip cap of doom, potentially. They need to stabilize their efforts and find a hill, and that has to come in from the slays. It's do or die in this situation. Camouflage is up, but your priority is to find a couple slays and stop the bleed.
Looks like they'll get that 1 slay onto Boam, and they'll continue to try to get control of A, and like you said, stop that bleeding from happening. Boam does push it, or 1 player does push in aggressively. It looks like the rest of the players will push through a tower. They're probably pushing for that C plot. And it's this player up top of glass here, Swish. He's the player that you've got to get by. They did get by him, but now they've got to deal with him again.
Shock rifle's just been putting in a lot of hurt. Hasn't really gotten that many kills, but you have to respect it. And so far, LVT haven't been able really to get that map presence that they'd like. Though, you saw that counter rotation, right? Swish leads that charge to C. LVT, they decided to take in the opposite base. They'll be able to get 2, but you have to win the follow-up fights, and that's where G1's been so strong.
Yeah, they win that follow-up fight once again, now surpassing 200 seconds of time. We saw at LVT, they were playing phenomenal earlier versus Native White. A 3-0 in that series. They've come across G1 now, and G1 seems to be a team that they're struggling with, at least in this game time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just G1's been so strong on these rotations. The thing is, though, this map is never over till it's over, right? The trip cap can come in at any point, and it can be a suffocating experience when you're on the other side.
Well, they put a lot of damage on the players in tower. Now they just got to clean up the kills. They decide to back off, though, not go towards tower, and instead defend B to maintain those points that they've continued to try to get here. They're only at 81 at this point, so slays, I think, are the answer at this stage in the game. There hasn't been enough slays on the side of LVT, and they've got to get those to get control.
Yeah, it really is, and it's not necessarily that the damage isn't there, it's just the follow-up that helps on that damage. They keep letting players from G1 stay alive for too long, and eventually you're going to die from 1,000 paper cuts. Every single player that you live for an extra 8 seconds, it has a huge ramification when you add it all up at the end of the game.
Well, they get 4 dead for G1. This could be their time now to get control of the map. Spawns come out on the long haul side. A is being taken. Triple cap locked in. But now G1 has answered back. They've gotten C. And it's up to this player in your screen diagram with the shock rifle to change this momentum swing, to make sure they keep control.
Who was that on the other side? I believe that was KingJay, who got a huge double at C, but couldn't finish that fight. Instead, LVT's resources are going to be spread thin. They're going to have to give up this B capture, and now the clock is ticking. You only have 30 seconds to play with.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were trying to get the kill on the B, but overextended into the sight lines of the player on long, and that's going to cost them here because now G1 have full control. They've got a little bit of a perimeter around LVT, and like you said before, it's suffocating. What's LVT going to do to come back here?
So far, the contests are in, but that might just be a backbreaker in game one. G1 get the trip cap, and G1 take home the first game of this series.
G1 coming out with fire here against LVT, and I mentioned it a little bit. LVT came out extremely confident and hot in that first series against Native White, something we were very excited for, but coming into this one, it looks like they've met their match, but we're going to Live Fire Slayer coming up next. Maybe a little bit of a chance here to recover.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to come down to the snipers. It honestly feels like that shock rifle was a little bit awkward for both the teams. It didn't play as much of an impact, and I think that might be because of that Series X, right? You're not quite able to have that same tactile precision aim that you would have on PC, and I think it's really hurting some of these players and their ability to really hit some crucial shots.
I mean, the only way to practice, you're at home, you're practicing matchmaking, or you're scrimming at home, you're on a PC. Then you come to an event, you got to play on a different peripheral. It definitely takes effect. And, as a player who has played on multiple monitors and input lags and all of that and has to have switched between multiple things, you don't adapt for a long time. Like, it takes almost a full day to adapt to something like that, at least for me. And it could be because of my age, but at the end of the day, it's rough. And, but end of excuses. At this point, they have to adapt. They've got to come to play, and this is the map where they turn it all around. They can tie the series up right now.
Come out strong, right? This is your chance to find an answer back. G1, they were constantly able to find the rotations. They were constantly getting behind the players at LVT, and just a frustrating experience to play against. Now LVT, they need to establish weapon control early. They need to establish strong positions on the map. You don't necessarily have to worry about that objective, allowing players to rotate through dead lanes.
Love that kill out of KingJay right there. Establishes a little bit of dominance, right? It's a 1v1 that's consistently over-challenged. You don't see that, but it's just a statement being made by one of the players. And KingJay, he's the one to make that statement. Unfortunately, he does go down. That is Piggy pretty quickly. And now the OS will probably be in the hands of G1, it looks like, and they're going to move to cuts with it.
Yeah, Huss made a huge flank right there. Was able to get behind the sniper player in time with that heat wave. Was able to find that kill, and well, it moves the sniper back to G1. Huss is able to keep on to that heat wave, and well, most importantly, that overshield also fell into the hands of G1. A very, very crushing moment that could potentially happen for LVT if they're not able to find a crucial hit.
3-kill lead here now for G1 with a double kill coming out from, I believe it is Huss. Heatwave still in his hands, moving forward now, trying to create space. He's taking the player off a tower as well. That will give him presence here on the Nest side. Has a little bit of a flank there, but gets taken out quickly. That's going to be a big kill for LVT. They're only down by 2 now.
Great job by Sab hitting this jump and getting tower control with this sniper rifle. So many sight lines that you can hold down, but what's most important is that you hit a shot, you get these picks. You're only down by 2 after a pretty rocky start to this game where you've lost the power weapons. Now you're depending on the newest guy on the team to really surge you forward.
And this player that you're talking about, the newest player on the squad, Sabinater. Sab, he has played phenomenal thus far in this tournament. He has to continue to do so, though. This is where that endurance comes in. Overshield coming up, puts a couple of shots into a couple of players. That's going to be Boamx Swish hitting the black screen there. A 1-kill lead is all G1 has, but that overshield coming up right now, KingJay is going to be set up for it.
That's why I was transported back to 2008. I thought I was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater for a second. The way that Sab was moving was insane, but it doesn't matter how well you move if you're not able to stay alive. LVT, they have some crucial losses towards C, and it's not only that you lose some in the kill feed, what you also give up is an overshield to G1 that they're able to push with.
Well, that overshield has made an impact on one player thus far. Make that 2. He gets diagram. He gets 3. Overshield is worth it there. A 3-kill lead now for G1. And 3 kills is the lead, and 3 kills is what the overshield gave. So overshield being a very massive part of this game thus far.
Once again, I mean, they're just like a child that's a little bit of a picky eater. They're leaving too much on the plate. You have to let these kills and follow up and make sure that you're putting a team 4 down. G1, they've been scrappy. They've been able to stay alive and keep chugging forward. Those extra 8 seconds that you're able to put influence on the map cannot be understated in this game.
All the sniper is up, lots of kills come through, 3 down for each side. The winner of the engagement is going to be Piggy, but the spawns do come out. That shroud screen will allow him the sniper rifle and allow him some space to get back onto A, but now he's got another job to do. The only job that matters, and that's taking off heads.
Great heads-up play by Piggy, using that shroud screen to get out. Really tactical in his decision on how he pushed forward. Got that sniper back, allows his team to push forward, but what he needs to be aware of is what's open. Where can this team push from? And well, they found the open lane, but oh boy, Piggy's doing a great job of staying alive, putting down damage, and he's waiting for the right spot. Another killing spree, 5 in a row from the main native.
4 dead for G1. You asked about it, you wanted it. They've got a full team wipe, and now they're aware of the spawns as well. Overshield is coming up. They've got a 1-kill lead with this OS. They could extend this lead even further and gain the momentum necessary to tie the series up.
Ever since the first 30 seconds of the game, this is the first time that we've seen a lead, and well, Piggy, he's making sure that they keep the lead. He's been hitting some big shots. The first time that we've seen the sniper play an impact, Piggy's shutting everything down.
Piggy is waking up. This is what they need. 2 kills is the lead right now. Sniper's still in the hands of Piggy with 1 shot to go. Can he land the headshot to make an impact on this tower side? And that's exactly what he does. Clean, crispy. 1 shot is all he needed.
And honestly, it's not about the flashy snipes, right? It's about knowing where a player's going to come from. That reticle's perfectly placed. They push around the corner, they get the kill, and well, he's got the reward once again. Not only can he keep playing forward, but he also has the shroud screen to keep him protected.
Can he stay alive? Sniper not able to do so, ends up going down here. But LVT have maintained and sustained a 4-kill lead now. Piggy, the forefront of that, 9, 6, and 4. Here comes the push from both squads. 2 go down here for LVT. They trade out 2. But it looks like G1 will come out on top of that one.
See, Sab's a slippery player to deal with, the way he's able to move on the map, but G1 has just been able to take care of him a couple of times. If he's been able to get away, I think we see a completely different game where LVT is potentially running away with it. G1's been very good at ensuring that when a player is weak, that they finish off those kills.
4 kills now is the lead. Couple kills come out on the bottom side of the map. It's going to be Huss on your screen, waiting for the heat wave. One of the most powerful weapons in close range. He's going to get shut down pretty quickly, though, from the pinch. LVT trying to do as much damage as possible. Once again, though, it's going to be Swish who stays alive in this scenario. No shields to use, but OS is coming up in 11 seconds.
Great repulse right here from Swish, but they have to be able to find this heat wave player. He's tracking him down. Finally, you find the right corner. Gets the shots in. That heat wave did a good number on Swish, but they have to take care of this overshield. LVT's in a strong position for it, and they will come away with it. Precision sees the respawn screen, and the sniper KingJay can put this one away.
That's exactly what he does. He puts one away, picks up the heat wave as well. We call this the Lucid combo here in Halo Infinite. Drops that heat wave though to one of his teammates. 2 down now for G1. A 10, make that 11 kill lead for LVT.
It was a back and forth battle that G1 had the advantage for the first half. But once Piggy broke the back, they never stopped chugging forward. Great sniper shots have made the difference for this LVT roster, and keeping control of this sandbox has kept G1 at bay. It's time to finish this fight and find the last 2 kills.
With a game 1 performance like they had, this game 2, winning this as convincingly as they have is exactly what they needed. The recipe for success in this series. 1 more kill and they will tie it up, but they're making that kill very difficult, this G1. They're not able to find it just yet. LVT still searching.
And remember, this game can still get out of hands. It doesn't matter if you only need 1 kill. You have to ensure that you don't get greedy. Stay with your teammates. Ensure that you're getting damage down together. Don't give anything for free.
See the cross angles on the screen side. Another kill goes down here for G1. It's 49-41 now. Still an 8-kill lead. Still only 1 kill needed. And like you said, you can really squander this if you keep pushing aggressively and you keep giving away free deaths.
I like this play from Diagram. Stay low, stay hidden, right? These players that have the power weapons, they're going to be acting as your bait. You can trust them. Hey, they're going to hit a shot. If they don't, you have a backup plan. You let the players push forward. But what G1 might try to do is they might try to get their players towards sandbags, towards height, so they can contest this overshield, because overshield's a dangerous game for G1. They can't necessarily play out for it because they know they'll get killed. Instead, they have to find the slays first, then try to grab it.
KingJay has had multiple chances. There it is. Now, LVT tie the series 1-1. A very convincing game number 2, but at the end it slipped a little bit. What was happening?
At the end, I mean, they were just trying to get the kills, right? Yeah. They're getting greedy, right? You cannot be greedy. And the greed is what ends up costing G1 at the end of that match as well, right? Overshield is up. It's tantalizing. It's sitting there. It's extra shield that you can potentially make that comeback with. What LVT did is they trapped it. They said, hey, let's leave for a second. Let these guys push through. And when they did, well, it's a perfectly placed nade that pushes the player out, and then they're in the open. If you're not towards that overshield, you have a chance to fight out of this. Instead, perfectly played by KingJay, able to get that kill. Although there's 3 players there, he finds the correct window at the correct time to finish out that game.
Well, now it looks to me, when you look at these series layout, that first game, a very weak game for LVT. Maybe one of their weaker game types, whereas it's maybe one of G1's stronger game types. But now we go to Streets Oddball, where games can get very long and very interesting. We'll see, if LVT is able to build on that momentum from game number 2. It's definitely a good way to recover when you lose as badly as you did in game number 1.
Now, Oddball is where you want to be, right? It's a long game. It can really determine the series, and it's an important swing game, right? Because it's going to be a battle of attrition. Honestly, I love this for both these teams. They have so much opportunity, and well, we saw the biggest difference in game 2 from game 1 is we saw LVT have a much better presence with the power weapon. G1 still a little bit struggling when they are getting that power weapon, not hitting those sniper shots like LVT were in this game 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was Piggy. You see the replay on your screen there, popping off when necessary. But now, with the series tied 1-1, we go to game number 3, Oddball on the streets. LVT coming off of a very convincing game number 2. After decisively losing that game number 1, now they look to build on this momentum, and they look to do it on the streets of Mombasa.
Ooh. God, rockets, stalker, shotgun, so much to work with. We saw LVT have great power weapon presence before. They need to do it again, and KingJay takes his throne. Able to get these rockets, but so much damage coming in. Throwing rocks at KingJay, but nothing takes him down. He's going to get his shields back, and most importantly, maintains both rockets in the chamber.
1 rocket will come through, but not going to connect with anything just yet. 2 dead here for G1. It's going to be Huss trying to make some quick work with a triple kill. Also has 1 rocket to work with where he can pressure now the spawns, but that ball's still not picked up. Finally it is, but it's in a little bit of a dangerous spot.
Everything was lost for LVT as soon as Huss got that first kill with that Sentinel beat. A strong weapon on land, and it ripped apart the defenses, able to get this first second of ball time. And while LVT, although they won the initial start, they're not winning any ball time.
The story has always been, since day 1 of Halo Infinite, sandbox, sandbox, sandbox. And you're seeing it utilized here. on land, like you said. 3 down for G1, though. They only got 7 seconds of ball time with those slays.
Yeah, but LVT, look at this great rotation from them. They got the kills at the right time, saw that their spawners were happening over at back C, said, okay, we can push this ball back. G1's going to get a lot of space on the map, but they're going to have to go through a heavily fortified position to find the break.
Well, here it is. Huss does find that little break there. A little hole, a little chink in the armor. Gets one. Looking to clean up a couple more. Shroud screen does go down on the top of B stairs. That'll protect players from LVT on that side of the map. But now they push. They get their shields back, push through on the commando side, and get some cleanup kills. But this ball will be played from both.
And G1's able to get that play out, and well, LVT's time is really minimized. And that happens because LVT tries to take space too early. So often when you hear Halo players talk, it's about getting as much control of the map as possible, but you have to be aware of the timing that you have. LVT left too early, and it allowed G1 to get into that base, become scrappy, and while LVT have not been able to recover. 3 players going down, rockets went to the hands of G1, and now more ball time will accumulate.
Unfortunately, that's going to be KingJay, I believe, I'm sorry, Piggy, I believe, that goes down really late there. So now LVT are going to have to wait a little bit longer for him to spawn up before they end up pushing through. And the red gun is going to be in the way. Huss has that controlling on this bottom tram side. This rotation of the ball comes through, though, quickly onto B.
Yeah, very similar setup from G1 that we saw from LVT earlier. The difference is that G1 was there earlier. Those players at B plat were able to see that rotation a little bit quicker. They were able to get us more of a scrappy rotation, but at the end of the day, execution is what reigns supreme. Well, the execution of LVT's gun skill is, well, looking phenomenal right now as we see kill after kill. Sab is a monster with this stalker rifle.
Sab absolutely popping off, and we've seen what one player on LVT popping off can do. It resonates through the rest of the team. And these power weapons being utilized is exactly what we talked about being his strength in game number 2. Sab's gonna miss that last shot though, ends up going down. A little bit of ball time was had, but G1 still get that lead.
And honestly, I think G1, the rest of the team just needs to start having a little bit more of an impact. I mean, Huss has been phenomenal thus far, 11-5, but really, what it looks like in this game, they should be winning by much more than they are at the moment. LVT's been scrappy. They've been able to keep G1 off this ball, winning crucial gunfights at the right time. And once again, G1 have a strong hold, but LVT just go in and rip it apart to shreds.
With 4 dead from G1, that'll be spawns onto PD, which will allow LVT to gain the lead now in this round number 1 of Oddball.
Ball drop.
He's gonna right down the middle lane.
Yes, it takes a lot of damage there, and because of that, he gets traded out. And that's going to be 4 down once again for G1. LVT starting to slay out here.
Yeah, what I liked about what the LVT did right there is they left the ball early. They wanted to make sure they had 4 BRs ready to fight 4 players. Once you have that numbers advantage, you can start thinking about getting that time. But there's no shame in dropping a ball early if you think it's going to win you a gunfight.
Drop the objective and slay when it's necessary. That's that game sense so many players lack. It takes a while to learn. The AR comes out. It's going to be Sab doing a ton of damage. Nothing is cleaned up, though, just yet. Piggy's the first one off a spawn, but he's got to be patient here. He's got to wait for his teammates, unless he can isolate one player and get the kill.
G1 spread the resources of LVT thin by pushing multiple lanes at once. When they're able to get those players coordinated at the right time, LVT didn't quite know where to allocate those BRs to the same spot, allowing G1 to basically take a numbers advantage and essentially take control.
Enemy has the ball.
Well, that numbers advantage is going to turn into 3 dead here for G1, though. And LVT pick up the ball, maintain a hold. Here comes the Sentinel Beam once again. Look how strong that weapon is on land. It is tearing through the likes of Piggy. Ham for dinner. But wait a minute. 63 seconds to 41 now. 1 minute and 40 seconds is all that's left on that clock.
Love those shots from KingJay, but there's so many more players from G1 to deal with 2 on this ball. And Jay, what his job is to stay forward, allow his team to get up on the map, but you have to stay alive. And, well, so far that settlement's been really impactful for G1.
Great usage there out of the power weapons on the map. It's going to be Sab once again on your screen, trying to stop this ball time from occurring. 63 seconds to 55. Gamers First have a nice hold here. They've got control of the map, but those rockets are coming up right now.
Yeah, Rocket's going to determine so much in this game, and what you're seeing is LVT for the first time really slowed down. It's because they had that Shroud screen, and while the Shroud worked perfectly, one player goes down, and while the rest of G1 could follow, another slay for LVT.
Those rockets can be a really big factor here. 3 down for G1. The last player is going to play the ball at the bottom center of the map, but that'll give time for G1 to spawn there on the tram side, and it's up to Diagram there to stop the spawns on PD.
Absolutely devastating play from G1. They thought they were able to play it out and be able to rotate quick enough, but they still spawn PD. This allows LVT to grab the ball, but G1, they're constricted. They don't have any space to move upon, and the time just keeps building for LVT.
LVT's doing a really good job of being that scrappy team you talked about. But now they've got to come off a spawn. 2 down for LVT. Gamers First looking for answers here. They get 1 kill. That's going to allow them inside a tram. And now pulling the ball back, getting control. They've got 1 player in the bottom of C. The nade's going to be good. That takes out 1, and it breaks the ball time from happening. We got a tie game.
Oh my God, the big bad pig came in and blew the whole house down. No one from G1 can stand strong. It's only 15 more seconds, and G1, Swish is the only player alive. He's quick to get into the base. He has a bulldog, but the bark is louder than the bite. Oh my God, a huge kill.
The rotation
only has 3 seconds.
The rotation comes through. He goes on the trash can and gets the last second of time. Round 1 to LVT.
Just phenomenal awareness from that ball carrier towards the end of that game. When they got to the Rockets, the entire formula changed, able to get the lead and maintain it. Round 2 is a must for LVT. Try to get yourself a real advantage in this series.
LVT's looking phenomenal. This is the best I've seen this team. They are playing phenomenal. They've come into play in this event. Those Rockets are still in the bottom center of the map. KingJay finds an opening in the back of Tram and still has a way to continue to slay on through. He gets 3 down for G1, and they're pushing this advantage.
Look at all the Rockets, Bulldog, and Stalker Rifle all in 1 lane. Talk about weapon control for LVT.
They use the rocket right there to get the first kill. Although it will be traded out, G1 do end up getting 2 on the side of LVT, but shotgun's still in the hands of KingJay, doing a really good job of milking his life here, but won't do a good enough job. All the while, though, that ball rotating over towards A.
3 players trying to get into this hole to contest on ball, but just nothing to be won right here. A double kill for Diagram, and although he doesn't get any more damage, he did buy a lot of time for his team to continue on this fight.
Right here.
They didn't hit, that's crazy.
I don't know how it didn't hit, but player's still alive, and this is it right here. You see that player staying alive on Cafe on the pillar side. That's what LVT has done so good recently, and now G1 are starting to stay alive. They're starting to milk their life, finesse. That's what creates that timing that you talked about, and it creates that timing to get that ball back to Tram.
Great heads-up recognition from Boam right here. He's rotating this ball while they've had to deal with Swish for that long. Swish, a phenomenal play to stay alive. It allows Boam to hit this rotation, and well, you can see G1 able to soak up a little bit of a lead right here because of it, and LVT a little bit more spread on the map.
See if the isolation here out of LVT will come to hurt them. Diagram does pick off 1 player from G1, is able to get the second as well. That's going to be 2 down for G1 now. G1 have a little bit of a lead here in round number 2. They're trying to go for that little bit of scrappy ball time, but the Rockets in the hands of Diagram now. This could be the difference here. Whiffs 1, that's going to be a factor, but he'll be able to use that second.
Look for the spawns. Where are they coming? A 2-for-1 cube spawn for Diagram. Unfortunately, the second one was his teammate. It might cause some problems, but G1 spawned so far away. They have to trek forward up on this map, and, well, information's known. LVT, how do you stand strong?
This is the red gun, the stalker rifle. So many players talk about one of the most powerful weapons in the game, but it's not going to be useful here for Diagram. He ends up going down. KingJay trying to find an opening with the Shroud Scream, dipping and dodging, not going to find anything there either, and this will be control for G1.
LVT weren't quite sure about how that push was going to happen. They didn't have players in the right position. They tried to hedge their bets looking at multiple lanes at once, but it was a 3-man push through purple that blew everything apart. And now it's a lot of work for LVT to find a break.
KingJay gets that first kill. Not going to get the second, though. The red gun comes out on top once again. And G1 looking phenomenal here in round number 2. Still maintaining control of that C side and getting the slays all the while on the LVT players pushing in.
That's tough. Sap picks up a stalker rifle. He didn't check the ammo that was left in it. You have 7%, that means you have 2 shots. More often than not, you should just shoot that ammo out, put it on respawn. You're never really going to find a kill with 2 shots in a stalker.
Piggy finding an opening to push through the tires here. They get a couple of shots of damage on the player inside of Arcade, but unfortunately, they're not really able to push anymore. They've got the crossfire coming from Red Room that's going to prevent them from getting any space on the map, and all the while, look at the time at the bottom center of your screen. 87 seconds and counting. G1 looking to take round number 2.
Honestly, for G1, this has been a phenomenal round. If you're Boam, you almost feel like you're not even playing Halo. It might be farm simulator of how you've been farming some time out of this ball. No one's really been able to put that pressure. LVT finally gets the break, but is it too little, too late?
I mean, I love the heart. I love the heart to not give up. They finally got control of the ball. This is definitely not over here. They've just got to make sure to play perfect Halo throughout. And those rockets are going to be a little bit of an equation to that perfect Halo here at the bottom center of the map. But it looks like right now, Boam is going to pick those up. They get 1 kill as well. They've got all the slays necessary. They've got the rockets. This looks like round number 2 going to G1.
A very convincing round from G1 right there. And a lot more 3-stacking and triple pushing from G1. We'll have to see if LVT notice that and start to find some sort of adaptation in round 3. Multiple times we saw that 3-man stack just eviscerate the setup of LVT. Start playing a little bit more passive, start ensuring that you have ERs ready for these pushes.
Well, the good thing about Oddball and Halo Infinite is you've got a couple seconds in between rounds to talk, so hopefully something intellectual was said here on the side of LVT so that they can potentially change things up a bit. That first round worked really well for them. It looks like this second one starting off extremely well. KingJay with a double, gonna push through the center of the map to grab these rockets, but he ends up going down.
Yeah, I guess he wasted one, right? I guess that's all we can ask for him right there. But Swish able to get the remaining rocket. He'll listen for information from his team, and honestly, a huge win by Precision. It allows Swish to keep that rocket in hand, get more damage down range, and well, not a great start for LVT. G1 have just been able to get their setup immediately off those rockets.
Well, the setup is locked in and stamped here on the tram side. The player right there at the bottom of B stairs, Boam putting massive damage in with the Sentinel beam, but is it going to be enough? He gets 3 down there for LVT. Play ball is optional, but Huss decides to keep it in his hands and continue to milk this time.
Able to find himself a Bulldog, but look, only 1 shot left in that Stalker. And what's interesting is he gonna shoot the bullet and then drop it. Yeah, that's the play. Now he knows a minute on that timer.
Right.
Make sure you let your coach know, and from there you can have a huge advantage in this game if you're able to keep the Stalker in your hands.
LVT trying to find any sort of opening going into tram, but they're going to be stopped right away. 3 down for G1, though. A little bit of an answer back, but Precision, the last player alive, is going to get the spawns onto C and lock in this tram hold.
Yeah, the problem is when you're the last player alive, that means every spawn is open, and well, G1 is going to spawn closer to that ball. LVT is going to have a lot further to travel, and well, you're going to have to win some crucial gunfights. And so far, man, it's just G1, G1, G1 whenever it comes to these gunfights.
Yeah, at the end of the day, LVT, I mean, it's about this power open control. They've gotten these rockets, but they haven't been able to utilize them for much ball time, and they've been taking these long duration fights all the while. 48 seconds built up for G1. The entire time they were fighting these other players, I mean, look at Boam's ball time, 146 seconds there.
Yeah, people probably look at Boam's stat line and they're like, well, he's not keeping up with the rest of the team. I'm like, he's not even playing Halo. He's just watching. Essentially, when he's had this ball, it's been dominating, really. I think they've outscored LVT probably 148 to, what, like 30 in the last 2 rounds?
Right. It's been rough here for LVT. It's not over just yet. This stalker rifle is so impactful, especially on the hold on to tram.
You see how many nades just came out right there? I think that was more nades that were available on the map, but it doesn't matter when you have a player like Precision just locking down lanes the way he is.
As you can see, very, very rough round here for LVT. Winning round number 1, but G1 have downloaded them. They've come up with a formula, and look at this again. The damage done on that B push. They're going to go into tram completely weak at this point, and you're going to see in that kill feed, G1 just kind of scooping them up.
Huge win, huge win right there. That stops the flank from coming in, also puts G1 all down at the same time. Now you have the ability to breathe and work your way back into this game. It's going to be a long, long trek, and it's going to be treacherous throughout the way, but at least you have a hope of a chance in this game now.
Yeah, I'd like to see how G1 plays this, what lanes they decide to push on through. You can see in the kill feed already 2 down here for LVT. What that does is allow G1 to comfortably push on through, and now you have to have the low percentage kills, and there they are right there. G1 come out on top of those, and they'll have control once again off of one push.
Yeah, Sav needs to go Hulk mode right here. He's going to have to take on multiple players at once. A big win from the other side. Actually, it's Piggy that's up. The nade on the 1v2. Does that ball fall down the stairs? Yes, it does. That's going to at least give KingJay and the rest of LVT a little bit of space to work with.
He wants to just throw that ball on a tram and pick up those rockets and utilize them, and he does just that. Gets a kill with them. Rockets are now out, and they're getting some time.
Slow and steady, but look at these players from G1 trying to push up the B lane. I don't think LVT is ready. Finally, the information's known, but stuck in red room is Sav, depending on his teammates to keep him alive.
Sav does stay alive in that scenario. They get some ball time as well.
Sav very far out. He's isolated. He's going to have to keep these players at bay by himself. The spawners come in from behind, able to work together. You have to keep G1 off this ball. It's only 10 more seconds until this game is over.
Yeah, they're pushing in so aggressively here. 8 seconds is all that G1 need, and the Slays come out here for LVT, all 4 dead, and that will be all she wrote here for game number 3. G1 are going to lead the series now, 2-1.
Yeah, just a very dominant round 2 and round 3 from G1, finding the Slays, working together as a unit. Really was impressed with their coordinated pushes in particular. I really felt like they didn't really pay any mind to the setup of LVT. Were able to just basically have any setup their own, and now a very concerning situation for LVT as they move into Solitude King of the Hill. I'd say one of their weakest game types in their best of 5 rotation.
Well, let's talk about it. You talked about setups, right? Some of these players, some of these people watching haven't played Solitude. They weren't part of Halo 5. I know Halo 5 is one of your favorite games of all time. When it comes to King of the Hill on Solitude, what does it look like? What is, especially that very first hill, right? What does it look like in terms of setup?
So Solitude King of the Hill is interesting because previously in Halo 5, the rotations were pretty known, right? When you're playing either Strongholds or Slayer. On King of the Hill, with that objective moving so often and moving to spots in the map that you don't normally play in,
right,
it creates spots where you have to play setups that are a little bit awkward.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the first couple of hills are going to be very determinative in the series as to how long it'll take to capture them, but you want to control that back loop spawn. That's what you're going to notice from these players. Keep that back loop spawn, make the other players play through the map to get towards that hill. If you're able to get those first 2 hills successfully, most of the time you can win. But once you get to that 3rd hill rotation, that's where you start to see things get a little spicy and a little bit more Halo Infinity. Is that a word?
Yeah, we'll use it. At least I like it.
It's a little bit more of an awkward spawn trap. You have to try to push players into different spots, have them maneuver through in unique situations that are unique to Halo Infinite,
right,
because King of the Hill has never played on this map before.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. You want to get that loop control. For those of you guys that don't know where loop is, it's near glass. If you don't know where glass is, it's near LR. If you don't know where LR is, then we have a problem and you need to go do some research. But game number 4, I believe, coming up. 2-1 now is the lead here. LVT looking for some sort of an answer versus Gamers First, who have come out strong in round 2 and 3 of that oddball game. We'll see if LVT can find an answer. You see some of the replays here. A lot of players on the side of Gamers First, especially Huss and Precision, definitely performing really well in that game. And then Boam just taking up that objective time, making sure that he's, like you said, he's not even playing Halo. He's just playing keep away, just taking the ball, keeping it away from everyone on the other team.
God, it's honestly, I was really impressed with how G1's played. I wasn't gonna guarantee their path into the pool of play based on how crazy this bracket is,
right,
and the teams that are in. But the more I've seen them play in the open bracket today, and the more I see them play on stream right now, the more I'm impressed with them. They've been very, very ready for today's tournament.
You can definitely see the practice does pay off here. Winners round 4, like we said, we're giving you the open bracket coverage here on LVT. And just so you guys are aware, LVT is completely community funded. But I've got to wait a second here. It looks like there's a good tools. What are we looking at here?
So right now I'm watching Triton.
Yeah.
He's watching an ad break on LVT, so I'm waiting for that ad break to be done.
Okay, you're gonna say something really nice.
So I know when they're done.
Okay, yeah. I see you set it up. I got it.
Shout out to Triton for watching the LVT stream.
Yeah.
I can see what he's seeing. The subs, you guys are in, but we have to come in, guys. When this ad break's done, guys, we're gonna come in. We're gonna act like nothing happened.
There's a delay. You have to understand.
Yeah, there's a delay. So we're gonna wait for that to be done, and we'll do our little plug. But looks like we're getting into our next game. Solitude, King of the Hill.
But like I said, guys, yeah, we're completely community funded. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here, and no one would be here. So thank you guys very much. But regardless, enough of this small talk. All right, we're gonna hop into game number 4. We haven't seen a game 5 as of just yet. This is the chance for LVT to bring this series back, and they could do it right here on Solitude.
Oh my God! Immediately 3 go down for G1, and this is a tough spot for KingJay. He can't expose himself to any lane right away. Finally gets those shields back, but it doesn't look like he needs to show anything. His teammates are getting all the job done for him. And this is a dangerous spot to have your sniper. Diagram can basically access everything, but look at the player from G1 breaking out that spawn. Number 380 right there. That's Huss, who finally finds the break for G1.
Diagram not able to hit the snipes on him as well, and you can see how annoying Huss is being there on that loop side. We talked about that being the place to control here on Solitude, especially on this very first hill and the next hill as well. Diagram hitting shots though, and you see that hill is about 85% of the way done, so that's really good. If you played this map and this game type, you know that that's a lot of hill time this quickly into the game, and it looks like they're gonna finish it off quickly. They come out swinging in this game number 4.
It's almost too much hill time quickly. It's like you usually want to burn a lot of time off that first hill and then capture it, but LVT, it just seems like they can't lose a gunfight right now. There's gonna be plenty of time, and this might be one of those rare games where you can see 4 captures based on how fast these teams have been able to capture hills.
KingJay doing a great job playing his life, gets his shields back, and we talked about it time and time again. The great pro players, the top players in the game, are the ones that are able to utilize their damage when they're one shot, but also staying alive, right? And that's exactly what KingJay's been able to do here. Moving around the map, he's been one shot most of the time, but able to do so much.
Just staying up strong. Diagram's doing his best to hold everyone back, but look at his long distance pair at the bottom mid of the map. They're working in tandem, although they have very different angles. They're able to find a huge kill.
That loop
oh my Diagram!
Oh wow, that loop spawn was one that Diagram was not expecting, but he's able to get that kill anyway. I believe it was maybe KingJay, but regardless, was able to get that kill anyway. That turn, the LPR, a low percentage play works out for him. And that momentum is exactly what they need as they get another kill here. Now they're just looking for that yard control, right? They've got 2 dead onto G1. Now they're looking to pressure here, get control of yard, and potentially get control of loop as well, and this hill.
Oh my God, it is. It's the gray concrete for the schoolyard, playing basketball back here, bullying the players on this map. LVT have just had their way when it comes to controlling this back spawn, and well, so far it's impressive. G1's been able to keep up with this hill, but when it comes for the fight of the important kills where you're dictating spawn control, it's been all LVT.
3 down for G1. Sab finding a beautiful assassination there. The player on Tram will be cleaned up as well. 3 down again. They've got him on a staggered spawn, but look at where they're spawning. Because we have control of Tram and Loop and Driveway, they're going to be spawning at Snipe side, which is a long road to get to the hill.
Getting out of the hill for just a little bit longer. They know how important these slays are. It's a 3-man push from G1, but LVT stand ready. 3 players pushing out. They want to get these kills, and well, they're all falling. G1, only 2 players alive, but a sniper could be the equalizer.
You see how beautiful that is too. They leave the hill right. They get out of the hill and push as a unit to get those cleanup kills. Oh my gosh, player almost stays alive there. Precision really not able to clean him up. But Precision does have the sniper rifle in hand. He's going to clean up 1, but not after he gets taken out. Now the sniper in the hands of LVT. They get 2 down, and they continue to get this hill time as well. But look, they're pushing for more. They don't want to clean up the hill just yet. They want to burn that clock just a bit, maybe.
Maybe burn that clock, but it's dangerous. G1's gotten the spawns, and they can definitely hold strong. It's going to come down to some individual slays for LVT. So far, G1 are flooding out. They don't want to give LVT any space to work with.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too individual now from what I'm seeing. You saw like some great team pushes prior, but now we're seeing those individual fights getting a little nervous maybe on the second hill. It looks like G1 are looking to take this one. Both of them are only a couple ticks away. And with these slays, G1 will take this hill, and it's tied up 1-1.
Yeah, I think LVT, I think they should have tried to stay in that hill and capture it. They're trying maybe just a little bit too greedy in that situation. And well, it doesn't matter if you've dominated for 80% of the game, the scoreline's still 1-1.
All that work on that second hill completely nullified because of a little bit of greed and the lack of discipline. They'll start this next hill though. It's going to be hill number 3. They've got 20% of it.
Yeah, great opening start for LVT right there. Going to be able to get themselves a nice chunk of time. What you're looking right here is you want to get a spawn trap in the lift area of the map. Control blue and loop at the same time. Make those players play through the map to get towards that hill.
LVT have gotten their time on the hill. Now they're looking to push on the setup of G1. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. That time will play a factor here, so pay attention to the bottom center of your screen. Great job by Sab to try to stay alive, but he gets taken out quickly.
The problem is G1's not really getting any time off this, and it's because they're trapped over at the lift. LVT, they don't have to play through the map. They can play at static positions because of how open that hill is, and eventually they're just going to find their kills and then get the spawn trap that they want. They'll soak up this time. Now look at G1. They're all going to spawn either at blue or lift. They're hoping for that lift spawn, and you can see them coming in. Now it's going to be a hotly contested fight over by Hotel, but you can see LVT's just cranking up time right now while that happens.
And when you get 4 dead that quickly close to each other, right, you know exactly where those spawns are happening. So LVT just trying to watch those crosses. You see a lot of damage was had. A great job by Diagram to stay alive. 4 dead for G1. And now the Quantum Translocator in the hands of Diagram, and this hill potentially going to LVT.
Sniper's coming up soon. I'd like to see him drop down, get it, QT out. But he's trying to bait. He's trying to stay alive, work with his teammates. Great down on the first. The Sniper not going to connect. Diagram, he plays greedy triple kill he'll get. Diagram's popping off.
This is what you need. One player to perform to make this comeback happen. A Sniper in the hands of Diagram. Looking for players on the top of ledge. Body shot will back that player off, but Diagram still in the hill, getting the time. He's looking to take off some heads as the push comes through to LR, and he gets another!
Snipe.
Watch your head. Diagram's taking them all. This man's 24-8.
That's what you need.
And a pivotal game to decide who can continue on. And he keeps chugging on. Diagram makes them all go die.
This is what you need. You need someone to stand up tall here on your squad, and what that's going to do is it's going to resonate in the rest of the team. Diagram 26-9, 11 assists to his name as well. Halfway through the hill is LVT, but it's a fight that's not over yet. They've put in this work before, and it's turned on its head. This time, they've got to close this hill out.
A dominant performance from Diagram thus far. The rest of the team's been setting them up beautifully, but G1's been able to scrape away before. One more shot towards this push. It's going to be KingJay that leads the charge. He sees 2 players getting information towards his team. As the push continues on, LVT find their break.
Right, use the thrust there to allow that 1 second of time. They'll get the hill, but it's going to be contested as Diagram attempts to stay alive. Isolated, though, and alone, he will go down. And G1 will claw their way back here with this next hill. Sab on your screen.
Sab wants to get through. Wants to find himself in a position which he can basically get a lot of damage for his team, but he's caught out too early. Without these numbers, this is dangerous.
Yeah, that hill's about to be capped here for G1. They've got 2 dead on the side of LVT, and they will tie this up 2-2. And once again, you saw all the work being put in, but G1 get control back, and they're able to tie it up at 2.
And dominant for 80% of this game is LVT, but G1, when they look at the scoreline, it's 2-2. It's even. It's their shot to come away a victor. kills.
There we go.
Quickly coming in favor of LVT. They need to maximize their hill time right now. Boom, last player alive.
He's hiding.
He basically influenced the spawns.
Yep.
Huge spawn for the rest of the team. Boom, making impactful plays.
Him staying alive there influences spawn on the bottom snipe, and because of that, look at all of G1 at that snipe side. Still though, Diagram is gonna get some time, puts the Slays down, 3 dead is G1. And more time here on the board for LVT. But they've got to make sure to solidify. They've got to concrete their feet in to make sure they get this hill, and they close it out with 40 seconds left. They've got to play perfect Halo.
G1 have so much map to take over, and well, it's been a perfect push for Piggy. He's gonna find himself 1. He's gonna find himself 2, and that's gonna stop this push from G1 dead in its tracks. LVT, they're gonna, what they might do is they might try to just, I don't know if they might get out of this hill a little bit early to get another round of Slays, try to get that clock as low as possible.
So it's not forcing
See,
overtime.
Look how they got out.
Right.
They're staying here. They're going to milk as much of this time out as possible before they get into this hill and finish it.
Yeah, they end up getting it anyway, just to be a little bit safe.
It's like an extra 8 seconds, but those 8 seconds can be huge in the grand scheme of things.
I like that they learned from the first time, though, right? They didn't get out of it too long. They got in, make sure to secure the cap. 3-2 now the lead, 22 seconds left. And that gives 22 seconds for Gamers First to try to slay their way into this hill. But you're going to notice LVT, they're just going to slay out here. They're going to slay out for the rest of the time and make sure that G1 cannot get this third hill.
And don't step foot in that hill. That's the rule if you're LVT. Just stay around the perimeter, slay. Look how exposed this hill is. Staying in with only 5 seconds of neutral time feels like an impossible task for G1.
Yeah, the Slays have to come out here, but LVT not allowing it to happen. 3 down for G1. Guess what, Garrett? We're going to a game 5.
A tough win from the side of LVT, playing on one of their worst maps, but it was convincing when you look at the stat line, right? When you ignore the game score, when you ignore the couple of hills that they let slip away, the plays from Diagram, the plays from KingJay were huge, and I think Diagram might have had one of the best games in the open bracket.
That's what you got to have. And I said it before, you got to have a chance to perform. You have to, there's got to be one player that gets into that flow state, that pops off for your squad so that you can come together behind him and make something happen, and they did just that.
Folks, a game 5 on the stream. I think this might be the first one that we've had, and if you've been enjoying the broadcast today, there's some simple things you can do to keep supporting us. One, a simple sub to the channel, guys. We do this all by ourselves. We pay our way out here. No one's out here bankrolling us. It's all LVT. It's all community, baby.
It's you guys, man.
And because of that, we're not just getting ourselves out here and ensuring that we're streaming all this. We're able to make sure a team that would not have been able to come out if they didn't get the funding was able to come to this tournament and, well, put on a hell of a show for us at the end, in this game 4 and push us to a game 5. That's all thanks to you guys in the community. You guys didn't sub, you guys didn't watch the ads, you guys didn't just roll and die with LVT, we wouldn't be able to have experiences like this and see our team go up against G1 in a game 5 to determine who will have the chance to go and qualify for pools.
And they're playing phenomenal too. And imagine tomorrow, right? If they end up making it to pools, imagine tomorrow where they're just playing even better. Again, it's all because of you guys, and I don't mean to make this about myself, but I mean I love casting in front of a live crowd, and for the past 2 events I've been able to do that, and it's honestly amazing. It's a dream come true. It's one of my favorite things to do, and not even just a live crowd in the venue. Just the energy here is it's addicting. It really is, and it's because of you guys, man. It's because the gifted subs and all the love and all the Twitch Prime subs, and I'll sell out all day for LVT, man. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us and allowing us to do what we do. You guys are phenomenal.
Damn, Drew's good. Good Diagram, dude.
He popped off, man. You have to oh, Kruger with the 5 gifted, man. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that's going to support like that. You guys are, I know times are tough and you guys work so hard for your money, man. But, so it's really appreciated that anyone would throw out their support.
What I learned today, so hey, shout out to the community. They did get us to our 350.
Let's go.
We have the 70-30 split.
Let's go, baby.
We're confirmed for that. But what I learned today, tier 3 subs, we get, I think it's like 80%.
That's crazy.
Tier 3. So if you're like thinking like, hey, I'm going to get 5 subs, you might just be like, hey, a tier 3 sub. We'll get a lot more of it. You never know. I know it's definitely not for everyone, right? It's
right.
Tier 3, tier 2 subs, we get even a bigger split of that. So shout out to everyone that ever decides to do those. We gotta figure out something to do. We gotta figure something fun to do for like our tier 2, tier 3 subs.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I honestly, I've never been able to figure that out. It's hard. It's hard to think of something. But here we go. All right, everybody. I need everyone on their feet, man. This is it right here.
Stand up, out of your chair.
Stand up. Yep, stand up. This is it right here, okay? This is game 5.
Raise your monitors up.
This is game 5, a team that I've never seen play this well. They are playing phenomenal, and I don't think they've reached their peak just yet. We're going to game 5. It's Recharge Slayer, LVT, Gamers First. Who's going to survive at the end of this one?
Whoever wins this game has the chance to qualify for pools in their next round. LVT took the Slayer in game 2, and they've pushed themselves to this moment here, but G1 have been strong. And last time they were on this map, it was a clear victory for G1.
Starting off the 3-3 game thus far, very close, as all games usually start, and I'm telling you right now, the pace is going to change. This is going to be slow at points. This is going to be fast at points. But keep your eyes out. Players are going to pop off. There's going to be a player that pops off in the most important scenario possible. 3 go down here for LVT, but it's going to be Piggy trying to clean up just a bit, trying to put that damage in to solidify those kills, and you see the assist pop up on his screen. That ties it at 6.
That's a hell of an ego child from Piggy, and although he doesn't get the kill, getting that extra damage certainly allowed him to get the assist, and honestly, he feels like a one-man army out there at the moment. He is fearlessly challenging everything.
Diagram picked up last game. Now it's up to someone else, or all of them, to pick it up here. Boam does have the shock rifle, though. This is where things get a bit scary right now. They've got to make sure to get this shock rifle out of his hands. It looks like he's going to play very aggressively towards the tower side. Takes out one, takes out a second as well. They've got to stop him here. He gets the triple, putting damage in, making sure to get that early lead.
That's crazy that he gets a triple kill with that shock rifle and he still hands it off to his teammate. I'd be like, hey, I'm feeling myself, but boom, he's obviously on something different right now. He's been absolutely phenomenal throughout this game. 7-2 to start.
The newest addition to this roster as well, making as big of an impact as he can. That trade will not go in the hands of Swish. He will go down 12-17 now. And we're gonna have to see the teamwork we saw out of that game 2 that game 2 Slayer from this LVT roster.
That's a great challenge from that player at Tricky Corner. They got away somehow, and while the shock rifle player gets the trade out, it's gonna push that power weapon into the bottom of the map, and there's still fights going on in the perimeter.
And that's what's gonna make the difference right there. You see Boam, he puts 2 shots in, knows he's not gonna win the fight, knows the spawns are top of glass, or knows players are top of glass, so he backs off, waits for his teammate. They push on through and clean up. 3 down for LVT, 14-23, but trust me, it is not over just yet. If you're in the chat, give LVT your energy if you're an LVT fan.
Boom. 10 kills, man. Talk about taking over the game 5 situation. G1 being willed ahead by him, and he's a new addition to this roster. Only joined, what, like 2 weeks ago?
Yep. Very new addition. LVT in a really rough spot at the moment. They've got no one on the cross, so it's going to be Boam who's able to freely go up on the catwalk. 17-26 now. They finally get 2 kills on the G1, but a lot more work to do here. They've got to chip away at this lead, and unfortunately, that aggressive play is not going to be the answer.
They have to slow him down. Boam has just been a monster when it comes down to getting damage and getting these kills. LVT just have not been able to find him, and whew, somehow, some way, I believe that's Diagram who stays alive in that engagement.
20-29 now, chipping away just a bit. A 9-kill lead.
Big plays.
Another trade. The trades are not what we want at this point in time.
Diagram, I mean, he goes underneath, and although he trades out, that repulse. He's positioned himself in a way that a repulse wouldn't send him off the map, and is able to trade out of a player in a very powerful position with a piece of utility.
This is the man on your screen right now that can make things happen, but unfortunately gets taken out very quickly. He had a shock rifle to utilize, but caught out by the remote detonation.
Yeah, and suddenly LVT, your runway is starting to shrink, right? You don't have that much time to start making this comeback. It was a rough start in the game too, but you were eventually able to will your way back in with the rockets. This time, there's no rockets. There's no big boom play that you can make. It's gonna have to be team coordination that gets you back in this game.
That's exactly what they utilized there, though, but they keep trading out. They keep giving kills away to G1 as they're weak. They fight so hard to get those couple of kills on a tower, but because the players are weak, they end up going down 27-35 now.
Tough game.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, right? You know, Boam is 11-6. He's having a phenomenal game. Diagram doing his best here. Performed extremely well last game. 29-37. The lead is cut just a bit, and it's these crosses I think are the difference right now.
KingJay hears that. Two players to his right. He's going to try to get back towards safety. Using that last grapple to get back towards his team. It's going to be a team fight that'll determine who gets these next round of slays.
You got to pay attention to that shock rifle too. Where is it on the map? Is it on spawn? Is it potentially in the hands of G1? That's going to be a huge factor. Player popping off here. You see it. Yeah, so it's pacing. Just completely slowed down. No team wants to give anything up.
The problem is G1, although they have a nice lead, right, 7 kills, it's very fragile, right? You're not in a great position, trapped over at C. If you give up a clean wipe to LVT, they're going to take that momentum and they are going to run with it. So you have to be careful. Look at this push. 2 players going in for the tower.
I love this.
The damage is in, but a backsmack came through for G1.
Oh.
It's going to be a push by KingJay to try to shore up on the other side, but G1 have been resilient, and that punch eventually comes through, but it's too little too late. LVT not able to get that coordination that they'd like, and G1, they just go trade for trade.
Yeah, it looks so good. Players on the tower weakened by the player on top glass. The push comes through, but Assassination's gonna completely nullify it. Not over just yet though. Not even close. 2 players inside of the whirlpool. Another kill though goes in. Another trade. Seems like they just keep pushing in for beatdowns here, and that's not what you want to see at this point. 36-45. A big lead here for G1.
This is the last player. He has to wait for the rest of his spawners, but when you have only 5 more kills to go, things always feel a little bit easier. You can be a little bit more loose with your plays. LVT, they have to be basically the strongest wall possible. You cannot break at all. No piece can fall when you're in a dire situation like this.
The most difficult thing is getting kills and not giving up any. You can see right there, they get 2 kills, but they give up 2. So anytime they go for a lead, it's just completely nullified by the trades that come out from the other side. 48-38 now. G1, 2 kills is all that remain, and a massive game by Boam, one of the newest members on the squad. 17-8 in game number 5 Slayer. The X factor for this game number 5, coming alive when it mattered the most.
Here we go, G1, just 1 more kill. They're searching, they're finding. 1 player goes down to 1. The shock rifle's in, but no kill to be found yet. The flank coming in from Boam. He's looking for this last exclamation point. They're flying in, and he gets the kill just in time. G1 continue forward. A huge win for G1. 1 more round until they are able to qualify themselves for full play.
Obviously, you know, G1 performing well at the very end of the series when it mattered the most is what got them that victory. But LVT, their road is not over just yet. They will go to the lower bracket and fight their way through that. Next up, though, G1's going to end up playing Luminosity coming up next, and I believe that will be for their qualification, and I believe we have another one on the other end of things.
Yeah, Shopify Rebellion gonna have to take on Ascending Baseline Purple, and a lot of players putting that gold team in high regard, but Ascending Baseline Purple seems to be very hot in today's tournament. They are gonna have a chance against Ryan Noob in the squad.